So, hello everybody. I wanted to make this quick video about unlocking the FPS of Elden Ring. If you wish to, the game is locked at 60 FPS on PC even, so if you want to unlock it, here's a couple of things you'll need to know. First is the GitHub page for the mod. It is by Under Halibut, I think is their name. No, it's Uber Hallet. Uber Hallet. And there's all in these instructions here, but I'm going to go through it with you so you know what to do to get this done. First things first is if you don't know how to download something from GitHub, just go to the GitHub page. All the links for all these programs that I'm showing you will be in the description of this video. Go over here to where it says releases on the GitHub page, click the version number, and then click the Elden Ring FPS Unlock and More EXE, and that should download it to your computer. Also, more downloads you'll need to get. This is up to you, but it's recommended to do this, so I don't know why you wouldn't. This is especially needed if you are using a G-Sync. So do this if you're using G-Sync. If you're not using G-Sync, you should only need to do this stuff up here. But if you're using G-Sync, you need to do this stuff down here. So I'm going to go over both of these things in one way through. So, and I'll tell you which one to use for G-Sync and which one not to. So this is if you have G-Sync right now. You'll need to go down here to step 7 of the to play a game with G-Sync. Do these additional steps. Step 7. Click this link that takes you to the RTSS, which is the Rivatuner statistics server download. You can scroll all the way down to the bottom if you wish and grab the downloaded version here for it. Or if you wish to also have MSI Afterburner, you can click the download here, which is up here near the top, and it'll take you to the MSI Afterburner. Scroll down to the bottom and you can download that there. I went with the MSI Afterburner download personally, but you should be able to just use the Rivatuner to get it downloaded. That's all you really need. You don't need the MSI Afterburner, but it does help you with seeing that the game is in their unlocked frame state. Is the reason why I also. So after you download them, install them. If you chose to download the MSI Afterburner, you do not have to also download the Rivatuner statistics server because it comes packaged automatically with the Afterburner. So after you have those downloaded, before we do anything else, let's go through the Nvidia settings. So after you do all that, right click on your desktop. This is Windows 10. I'm not sure if it's going to help you with Windows 11. I don't have Windows 11, so I can't tell you anything about it. I don't think the game even runs on Windows 7, so I don't even see how this would help you if you have Windows 7. So one thing first, make sure you download the newest graphics drivers for your graphics card. I have Nvidia, so I went and downloaded my newest drivers for Nvidia and had them installed. Then you're going to, after that's all installed and everything, right click on your desktop and click the Nvidia control panel. And you're in your control panel. You want to go to the manage 3D settings, go down and click program settings and find in this list your Elden Ring. If Elden Ring does not show in this list, one thing you can do before trying to add it manually is to go to run the game once through Steam, online if you want to, offline. I'm not sure if offline or online matter, but just run the game once, let it go to the main menu, then just quit out. And as soon as the game quits and everything, you should be able to find Elden Ring in your program settings. If you don't, you can go through the add manual process thing to add something and find it there. It's all off in here. And you can find it, add it through there, and it'll come into. So for non G-Sync people, for people who are not going to be using Sync whatsoever, the only two things you need to do is to go down all the way to the bottom, find the preferred refresh rate, and click it to highest available. It should be either already on use global settings or allocate application controlled. You'll want to just go ahead and click it to highest available. And then vertical sync, you'll want to turn it off. Just click the off here. Now, if you have G-Sync enabled, there's a couple more steps you have to do. First, you'll want to do these two things. First, you'll want to find the monitor technology in the Elden Ring tab here and make sure it's set to G-Sync by itself. Don't use any of the others. Just click on G-Sync. Go to preferred refresh rate. Still change it to highest available. And then the vertical sync, you'll want to choose the use the 3D application settings. And then you'll just, there'll be a pop-up saying apply, click apply. Settings are applied to the game. Then you could just exit out of that. And then you'll want to bring up your Rivatuner statistics. And also, if you want to set up, and I'll show you how to do that, the MSI Afterburner so you can see your FPS and everything through it. I'll show you that. I already have mine open, so I'm just going to show them so you can see. First things first, let's set up the MSI Afterburner. You just go over here to the little cog, click it, and it'll come up with this screen. Click monitoring to switch to this. Now, in this graph deal, a lot of these things were checked marked and everything like that. If you want, just shift control on them. Not shift control, but shift click, and you can click a lot of them at once, so you don't have to do it one by one. You can just scroll down to where you want all of the things off are and turn them off that way. I had like all of this turned on, all these CPU powers and temps and all that stuff, and I didn't want them on. All the things I wanted are these two right here: frame rate and frame time. So frame rate, make sure it's check marked off to the left, and frame time, also make sure it's check marked to the left. When you have frame rate clicked, go down here and click the box for show an on-screen display. Make sure it's set to text, and then frame time, show an on-screen display. Switch this from text to graph, to text and graph. And then you can click apply on those, and it will apply those settings. And when you're in game, in the upper left corner will be your FPS, a little FPS deal with the frame rate graph and all that stuff. And if you want to later on to turn those off, all you have to do is make sure either Afterburner is off, or you can go back to those settings and uncheck those two boxes, and that'll turn those off so they're not in your way. Then on Rivatuner statistic servers, now some people say that the Rivatuner statistic server is supposed to start up when your MSI Afterburner starts up. Mine never does, so I just have to go, I just added a shortcut to my desktop for it. But if you don't, you can just go over here to your deal and find it and click it and start it up. One thing you want to do is click show on statistics there, and then you'll want to find the frame rate limit right here, and you'll want to set it to a little bit less than your hertz of your monitor. My monitor that you're looking at right now is a 1440p 144 hertz monitor. So I would like to play the game higher than 60 FPS, because a 144 hertz monitor can have 144 FPS or more. But if it's more, it's going to screen tear a lot. But and then you'll want to, once you're in Rivatuner statistic server, frame rate limit, set it to less than your hertz of your monitor. Mine is, like I said, 144. If you go over to the GitHub and you go down to the thing where you talk about the G-Sync. Now, this is only applying to G-Sync still. Know this. This is still going through and only applying to G-Sync. You don't have to do this Rivatuner statistic server stuff if you're not using G-Sync. Go and find, like I said, go to your FPS limiter, frame limit in there, like I just showed you, and set it to 138 is the recommended from the person who made this mod. So I set it to 138, as you can see on the deal right here. It's set at 138. Do that, and it will be there. Now, all this stuff here should not affect anything else as long as they're turned off. If you're gonna play Elden Ring, make sure you at least, and you have the G-Sync, make sure you at least have Rivatuner statistic servers up and running, so it will affect the Elden Ring. This should not affect anything. It should go back to directly to 144 hertz if you have it set up correctly, if you have Rivatuner up when you start Elden Ring. So one thing also, there's been a couple of people, according to the poster, reporting on a couple of bugs with it, saying it doesn't work and everything. One quick thing that a lot of people didn't know about, and I almost had this issue too. I don't know how long this has been like this, but I went to my display settings. I right-clicked on my desktop, go to display settings. My main monitor here, my monitor number 2, my 1440p monitor. You scroll down to, where is it? Anyway, I thought it was here. There it is. You'll want the advanced display settings to find this. And you'll want to go down, scroll down until you get to the bottom and see your advanced display settings here. And this is my monitor. It's a Asus ROG PG278Q. And you want to go down to refresh rate and make sure this is set to your highest refresh rate it can go, which mine is 144.003. And it's set up there. As an aside, I just thought of something. Make sure under NVIDIA control panel, let's go back to NVIDIA control panel real quick. There is a deal for set up a G-Sync. If you have G-Sync, this should automatically be enabled for you. But if it's not, just go into your NVIDIA control panel, go up to set up G-Sync. Make sure this checkbox is clicked for enable G-Sync compatible. And enable for full screen or windowed mode if you have it there. Depending on what you're going to play the game at, if you're going to be full screened, you'll want it on full screen. If you want it, if you also could be playing it on windowed, set it to enable for window and things like that. Except that because I changed it. There we go. So just to, just in case you don't have G-Sync for some reason turned on like you're supposed to, it can happen, I don't know. There's some funny things with computers nowadays. So all of that has been done and has been set up. You should be fine. I'm just going to minimize these two. Don't exit out of them. Like I said, I'm using this to show you when it unlocks the frame rate, the MSI Afterburner. You'll just go to your Elden Ring FPS Unlocker, double click on it. It should come up with that. If it doesn't come up with that box asking you to approve, right click on it and click click a run as administrator, and that should bring up that box. It needs that box to be able to do it. I'm going to tick that off because I run this a second ago. So as you can see, there's a bunch of options here, and I'll go over all the options in just a second. First thing you want to do before you do anything else is you want to click this Start Game Without EAC. But also, if you want to, and I would really recommend this just to make sure, this button should start the game in offline mode. But just in case something funny happens, and it doesn't, go to Steam, right down here, go up here to the top left, click Steam, and click Go Offline. Mine's set to go online because I'm offline right now. So just click the bell and make sure it says Go Offline. Make sure you're in offline mode if you are not. That's just in case something funny happens. Like that. So I'm going to bring this over here to the right like I had it, and I'm going to click Start Game without EAC. And the game should start. And here we are. Okay. It's going to say there's something funny going on, but don't worry about it. It's just as long as you don't use this thing in online play if you're doing. And this doesn't change any files or anything. So if you want to go back to online play, just start the game regularly through Steam. You will be locked to 60 FPS, but you will be able to play it online if you want to with your friends. So there's that. As you can see, right now, I am capped at 60 FPS in the upper left corner. This is what MSI Afterburner is showing me. My FPS, and over here to the left is the frame time with a thing right here in a graph. So I'm going to bring this back. So there's many options you can do. The main thing we're going to be talking about right now is the frame rate lock. To unlock the frame rate, just check that box and then do something else, and I'll tell you that in a second. But there's also a change FOV if you wish. There is widescreen support if you wish. And there is disable runes, loss on death if you wish. And game speed. You can change the game to be either faster or slower if you wish. I am just going to be using the frame rate lock. And then all you do after you do that is you click patch game. And after you do that, I'm going to drag this back over here. I click back into it. As you can see already in the upper left corner, I'm at 138 frames. Frame FPS. So there you go. It's unlocked frames. It's capped at the 138, which is what I set in the frame limit of the Rivatuner for G-Sync. If you don't have G-Sync, you shouldn't have to worry about viewing the Rivatuner thing, as I said before. So there you go. And it's unlocked. Game is unlocked for you to play unlocked. So that is it. That is all you have to do to unlock the FPS of Elden Ring, if you wish. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Hopefully this didn't take too long. Hopefully you can follow along. Like I said, just links to everything will be in the description. If you're having any issues, please give me a comment and everything. Two big issues, like I said, one is that display settings things. Make sure your monitor is set to the there we go. Make sure your monitor is set to the refresh rate of 144 or whatever your refresh rate for your monitor is set to. And then and that's one issue that some people seem to have. The other issue is they want to beautify their game, so they're putting reshades on their game. Unfortunately, that really kind of blocks the unlocker. Because the reshades are based on the 60 FPS limit of it. Unless you find a reshade that says it doesn't do that specifically, don't use a reshade if you want to use the FPS unlocker. It's the easiest way. If you want to make your game really beautiful and take a chance, go ahead and try it. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You're going to have to find a reshade that does not also lock your limit. So those are the two main compatibility issues it seems to be. There's also things of reinstalling a clean install of your video drivers if you're there, things like that, all the normal things. So, like I said, leave a comment down in the description if you're having any kind of issues. I will try very hard to help you out. I'm not the maker of this mod, so I don't know everything. If you have a really deep technical question, like this happens here, but this is supposed to happen, you know, I really can't help you with something like that. If it's something about the install process, hopefully I can help you out through there. If not, if I can't help you, I will direct you to go to the GitHub and, you know, leave an issue ticket there. So I want to thank everybody for watching. I hope this helped you out unlocking the FPS, and I hope you have a great time in Elden Ring. I'll see y'all later. Bye.